Hello and welcome to Grid 2. We'll be finishing up the Trans-American Pacers in this episode and the promo event. Actually, let's start off with the promo event.
All about exciting the fans. It's important you put on a good show. That's why I'll be giving you a specific objective before each event. Overtake is all about passing the dedicated event cars as quickly as
These are basically just little mini games.
With a chunk of points, but you'll get more points the faster you can get from one car to the next. Remember, keep one eye on the road and the other on the traffic.
These events I'm pretty sure are more or less impossible to do on hard. But it does sort of offer us the chance to drive a new vehicle. In this case, a Dodge Charger. I think this is a 71 model year. Because I know very well that a 69 has the almost full-length rear light bar, but the 69 also has a sort of splitter in the front.
Double apexes are king in Chicago. Smooth out those turns and you'll be winning in no time. Promo events are all about generating some buzz. Keep your objective in mind when you're out there.
Out the way, Potato Man. That's not my car. And it's thankfully on me, which means
that's how it's done.
I'm just gonna breeze through this, as opposed to having to fight for fucking first. In overtake events, really just have to be aware of, these aren't actually, Raptors. Oh, sure, they look like Raptors, but they look like Raptors, but they don't have the Ford branding. That's kind of amazing. They don't have the Ford logo on the back.
You're making this look too easy. Great driving.
Not really, I'm only at 6,000 points. Then again, that is on to second lap. The only downside to the muscle cars is you kind of have to either lug it in second or rev it in first. Anyways, for overtake events, don't really have to worry too much. Just sort of keep the AI's propensity for taking the innermost line and you should be fine. The point system works. You don't get to the next overtake car in enough time, it goes down. You, by one, you crash into a wall or a car and it goes back, reset. I'm trying to find the words. I have noticed you can sort of give it a little tap, but not like full on ramp. The Charger is very nice to drive. Come on, one more. Charger is nice to drive. More drifty than the Mach 1.
Yes, that's outstanding, man. Overtake 101 right there.
30,000 points. And I actually might have been good enough to win on hard, but there's still the very real possibility he would have just fucking... Ho ho! 40,000 points! Yeah. Look, Grid 2 is not a game where like, racing games as a whole tend not to have terribly great,
Check out your news feed.
tend not to have terribly great AI. Well, considering we just drove a muscle car, and we drove the 300ZX as the last car, let's go with the Silvia.
The track has a lot of undulation, so the car might shift around a bit. Be careful. So we landed a face-off event against the Transamerica Pacers. This is pretty good. You've only got to get past one of them after all.
And we're running in. I wonder, have I done all of my objectives? Win a vehicle challenge, done that, finished, done that, and if I don't have that before, I'm going to get it now, because this is basically, if you've played Pro Street, it's a high-speed run. Or speed jump, not high-speed run. Pro Street would work on my computer. And this reason, it doesn't want to recognize my Xbox controller. Well, it does, but it doesn't. Because, Pro Street is what Grid honestly should be. Like, it's all these different styles and races coming together in one big free-for-all, basically.
Excellent drive. Your racing is better than ever.
Another Silvia, and a Silvia. Oh, hey. No more muscle cars. No change. Just realized something.
The track has a lot of undulation, so the car might shift around a bit. Be careful. We've raced here a couple of times now, so you should have a good feel for the track.
Yeah, it's also a pretty free-form course. I think this episode will probably go on a bit longer. It feels like I'm kind of lugging this thing, but beautiful. They reset in between the sort of passes, so I don't bother too much. Besides, not more. I wonder why they did change the system, though.
There should be no doubt in anyone's mind about your abilities now.
Would have been hilarious if Bruno lost somehow. Yes, for anyone who's ever played Lego Racers, uh, each club sort of has their own champion. For the Trans-American Pacers, it's Bruno Silva. For the New Union, it's Harrison Carter, or Calvin Harris, as I like to call him.
There are no penalties for trading paint and face-off, meaning they'll give as good as they get. Watch
No,
yourself.
they don't. They only give as good as they get when you accidentally hit them. Oh, there's some speed. And there's some going off track. I have a feeling that Bruno may be making his move. But sadly, it may just be too late for him. Fourth, particularly steep incline. Yeah, I'm sort of glad that I chose the Sylvia because, well, if not the Mach 1, certainly other muscle cars would have dominated that event.
First place. Well done. That will make the Pacers take notice.
I think me whipping them 2 times before will make them take notice. Just saying. You know what? Yeah. Let's get on with the WRS.
Comments wall is a good indicator that the first WSR season is going to be the most talked about racing event of the year. We can't reach more fans at this level. Oh, I've got 2 vehicles here to choose from. You're going to need one to enter upcoming events.
Top speed and acceleration are the same between them. The Dodge has more power, though that is sort of offset by the weight. Honestly, I like the Dodge more.
That's a smart choice.
And besides, we'll be able to win
It's
one.
paying off. You have another sponsor wanting a place on your livery.
Well, that might be easier. Win a vehicle challenge. Do we get a... Okay, we'll go with SRB power. Gosh, I had corporate. I'm gonna face off, huh? That's hurt 3rd or higher. Pen tools. Would like to choose them, but sadly their lettering is only comes in black, really. Yeah, whatever. Aftermarket, SOP. Win a race event. Win a vehicle challenge. Drift box. Yeah, I can go with. Oop, didn't mean to do that. We'll go with drift box. Let's see. There's the street. There's the race. Honestly, I like the street layout. So, yeah, go with this.
Well, this is a huge day in the history of World Series racing. We're finally in a position to host our first official event. As one of my star drivers, I'm counting on you to wow the crowds down in Chicago. If you do that, I'll look to set up some additional events in other parts of the country.
Why do I have to be the one? Like, we have, like, 2 other people. That's tricky. Let's see. Drift, race, drift, race, drift. Okay, the 10 tools is actually a nice gray, so it's offset. For the most part. And even if it isn't, well, it's just that creepy fucker looking over. Do like that orange. Let's darken it. Yeah. A little bit darker. Yeah. And for the black, I'm not too sure really. Maybe a dark blue. Let's make this the dark blue. Actually, nah. That's just garish. The green doesn't really work with the blue. Or does it? Like, it has a neighbor, so... Why don't I have... Gray? Too basic. White, alright, have that. Yellow, they don't have good yellow. Dark orange. Actually, let's try... What's the setting for this? Okay, just at the end, metallic. Shit, I don't know which one's which. Okay, there we are. Yeah, so the SRB is readable. Gray, orange. Yeah. But now I don't really like the blue. Red? Maybe a lighter red. More salmon. Nah, salmon doesn't work. I might cut this out. Matter of fact, I probably will. Yeah, I'll make up for... Always take too long. But, well, that's sort of the nature of it.
Well, today is a day live routes are dynamically changing circuits. You'll need to stay on your toes as new junctions can be opened at will. This is a real test of corner-to-corner racing.
Right. Can I go now? There we are. Give a race. And let's take the new girl for a spin. I don't know why these steelings are only 4 bolts. It's just wrong, really. And what's even worse is that later there are cars that have more or less the same rims, but in 5-bolt patterns, but you can't paint those rims.
Alright, plenty of people here today. Let's see if we can get a good race and make some new fans.
Well, I got a charger, so... Sort of went into that at the wrong angle, but right. Whew. A little hot through there. Around the chicanes. Dab the brakes to get the rear out. Back through this place that we were just at.
Nice work, you're in the top 3.
I almost feel like this should be like the shortcut
You're in second. Go for the
race
top
from
spot.
Test Drive EVA Destruction. You know, I think that might be the second time I've mentioned that game. Maybe I should do a playthrough on it. I never got a PC as far as I know. Yeah, I could look that up. Because it really is a fantastic game. And you can tell it's fantastic because, well, you can't really find a copy for under $30 these days, unless, of course, you manage to find it in a store that you have, which is unlikely because, well, everyone has access to Google, and no one's really that nice these days. Right. So I gotta stay ahead of Harrison here for a quarter of a race. Cool. Funny. Usually on these live events,
You're holding on to that lead well.
I don't right I am. Usually the AI isn't very good. Like, there's a very noticeable drop in quality if you play on hard. Right. And there we are. I upped the sort of rescale on OBS
You're
to
in a healthy position right now. Keep giving it your all. And
a
you
little
can
bit
take
larger,
this.
so instead of 720. So hopefully that will result in better videos, or it could result in the recording lagging again, which would be unfortunate. I honestly don't know what I'm doing with it. I'm throwing settings at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Okay,
Really.
you're gonna need to have your wits about you in
Okay,
this
from
race.
Googling.
This isn't a set route, so do not rely on track knowledge. It will not help you. You need to think ahead and plan for any route changes on the way. No 2 laps will be the same. Hey, buddy, we're in the big time now. Have you seen the crowd? Let's show these fans what the
Yeah,
WSR is all
they're
about.
kind of two-dimensional. Yeah, just a little rubbing. Okay, if we count the times that I used the announcer quotes from Test Drive EVA Destruction, it might be more than 2. Now, 3. Don't want to be behind anyone going into a corner because they don't know what the hell a braking point is. That man has stolen my livery colors. Yeah, I just realized something. I forgot to put on an 01. My original intention was to avoid the sort of Dukes of Hazzard. Even though I love it, it's just, everyone does. No, I'm pretty sure the promo car has everyone on the side. Bruno. And now we got half a race to go chase down Calvin Harris. which isn't as... Okay, I've done one right on that. Also, these are sort of meant to be tough because, oh, you can't rely on track knowledge, but do racers really... Like, I'll admit, knowing when a corner and what speed and all this and that helps, but, like, a proper driver should be able to react to this kind of stuff, right? Like, oh, it's just a different corner. I know what this corner looks like, I know what speed I should be taking it at, or how I should. Give to have, because I'm pretty sure Chargers came with 5 speeds, manuals, but nevertheless. Yeah, I remember Rage Racer where the last tier of car you unlock are manual only.
That's your new personal best on this track.
You know, the track that technically doesn't exist. I sort of wish games would reflect when you choose manual transmission.
That's why we make such a great team.
You just occasionally bitch at me and I do all the winning. Well, that's the last of that one, and I think there's only 3 more races, and we have 10 more minutes, about 6 minutes for that.
That's moved you a step closer to a place in the final. Get even closer. You have another championship event to do.
Yeah, considering how this is going on longer, I think I'm going to complete the promo event and the car event, and then show off, well, maybe show off me customizing the Camaro.
California. Find some space on track. Racing too close could end in disaster.
Camaro.
Try and bring her home.
Now they have to give it to us. My driver's jumper is yellow. Speaking of the troops of hazards, if you choose the Camaro over the Charger, and you have to do this for the Charger, the plate will be from Alabama. Mainly, it's not a one-for-one of the general license plate, which at some point in time I probably could have told you off the top of my heart, but now it's just forgotten knowledge. That's the Camaro. And I think these are sort of the only races where you kind of have to genuinely get good at them. Because medium, hard, very hard, doesn't matter. The time is the same. Or it could be different. So, if you're not very good at this game, these will screw you over. But hey, if you are, well, 3 cars. Now I do feel, yeah. Gotta admit, that was easier than the Charger.
You can never have too many cars.
Goddamn right, especially if they're Camaros. $44,750.
publicity boost, and succeeding in a different discipline will convert the unconvinced. There's a promo event that should
cool.
be just the ticket.
Yeah. Oh, endurance.
Races require drivers with real ability and a lot of stamina. When the clock reaches 0, the vehicle that has traveled the furthest wins.
Basically, whoever was in first. And we get to test out a Honda S2000. Which is to say, I get to put a Honda S2000 into a wall repeatedly. Yeah, this should be a nice way to end the recording, which is already going to be like a special. Alright, 3 episodes in, and we're already at a special. Also, why don't I get that white
Remember,
one?
if you can complete old Patrick's objective, it should raise your profile even more.
What's Patrick's objective? Win this? You know, like I do with everything else. Also, these are horribly short-shifted on that. And that's not what you do in an S2000. Shut the door on that guy, and away we go! But yeah, this is basically just a regular race until the clock sort of ends. Whoa. I wonder if this is an AP1 or an AP2. Mine revs to 9. Oh yes, I am skinny, Joe. Thank you for
Minutes
noticing.
to go.
Definitely an easier setup than last time. I still have my fenders. Fun thing about the S2000, I actually think it looks pretty nice with that. Fenders! I'll try to avoid showing that off, but you can find it online. Like it looks great as sort of a roadster, like a Prowler. I've already been running that bit, so. But yeah, this is fun. We get to test out a new car in a different class, Tier 2. I'm still doing better than that. Yeah, honestly, endurance races, much like real endurance races, are all about really driving quicker than the rest, but also keeping your car running. Also, I'm not really used to the braking points on these speeds. Like, admittedly, I do have a little bit more experience with the Tier 2s now, but still.
Only 2 minutes left in this race.
Can we just not? Like, I mean, I'm already far and away the best driver here. 25,000 feet. I do like the detail that the door sort of becomes unlocked and opens, and then you can close it again. It's a nice feature. Must admit though, it is a bit ridiculous when the door sort of just rips off. Not sure if you know this, but doors, they're kind of solidly in place. I'm pretty sure that's also part of the support structure in clothing. Certainly on a roadster.
60 seconds left.
Woo. Joshua Grigiotti. nice navigation of that corner.
30 seconds left.
Yep, there we are. The home stretch. Sadly, can't do a burnout in this game. Well, you can do a burnout, not a donut. That's what I meant. Well, I'm sure you could. It's just not very, as I've said, the cars turn on at
Just 10 seconds left.
central axis. Which honestly means they should be able to do donuts, but I guess it's 86. I don't know what the fuck to do there. Also showing off a fact of the manual transmission. It will not go down to first of its own accord, and it will not put you into reverse by itself. Just dominated that race. Well, I think that is good enough for this episode of Grid 2. We're into the WRS. Yep. We have 50,750 fans. And
Why don't you try another series?
we have a new car.
A win will give us the exposure we need before we host our first WSR final.
So, oops, not that. No. No, take me back. So, I'll paint this up off screen, and when we come back, we'll finish off the first season of the WRS. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and have a good day.